Most men walk through life blind to the way women think, blind to their emotional battlefield, and worst of all, blind to their own power. They enter relationships begging, giving, pleasing, hoping. But Stoic men, we don't hope. We know this isn't about control. It's not about manipulation. It's about awareness. It's about becoming unshakable. It's about becoming the man she doesn't forget when the lights go off and silence creeps in. There are 7 emotional vulnerabilities most women hide, not because they're weak, but because they're human. And when you understand them through the lens of Stoicism, you stop reacting and start leading. Let's begin. 1. She's addicted to approval, but only when you withdraw it. Most women crave attention, not because they're shallow, but because their worth has been measured by validation since childhood. Compliments, likes, DMs, all day. But here's the Stoic truth. The moment you hand her approval for free, she stops valuing it. She doesn't want to be told she's beautiful. She wants to feel that she earned that praise, earned your attention, earned your time. When you compliment her for nothing, when you chase too soon, when you always text first, you become replaceable. The Stoic doesn't feed that addiction. He observes it. He lets her earn his approval, not beg for it. Give her attention like gold, not air, rare, valuable, intentional. That's when she starts questioning herself. That's when you become the thought that lingers at night, not because you gave her more, but because you held something back. Self-restraint is magnetic, and silence, that's where she hears the loudest echo of your strength. 2, she's emotionally volatile. Your job is to be the mountain. 1 minute, you're her savior. The next, you're the villain in her mind. That's not a flaw. That's biology. Hormones shift. Emotions rise and fall. Women are tuned into feeling more than logic. But the Stoic man knows something most don't. Her storm isn't your invitation to lose control. You don't need to fix her mood. You don't need to explain yourself endlessly. You don't need to walk on eggshells. You just need to stand still. While she breaks down, you breathe slower. While she rages, you lower your voice. While she panics, you remain calm. That's divine masculinity. The grounded presence that transcends chaos. The Stoic doesn't take her mood personally. He knows emotions are weather, and storms always pass. She won't remember what you said. She'll remember that you didn't flinch. 3, she fantasizes about strength, not submission. She may say she wants a man who's soft, agreeable, understanding, but her biology craves polarity. She wants to feel your strength, not your softness. She's not drawn to men who ask permission. She's drawn to men who lead with certainty, with purpose, with quiet confidence. That's the paradox. She says, talk to me, but respects the man who speaks less and does more. She says, be nice, but obsesses over the one who's slightly out of reach. Because dominance isn't about control over her. It's about control over yourself. When you stop trying to be the man she says she wants and start becoming the man she can't manipulate, she begins to admire you. The Stoic doesn't chase. He moves forward, and she follows by instinct. Be the man she can't predict. Be the storm she can't shake. Be the calm she doesn't understand but deeply craves. That's what makes you unforgettable. 4, she fears being replaced more than losing you. Here's the raw truth. She doesn't fear losing you. She fears you finding someone better. That's hypergamy. That's biology. That's reality. A woman will only stay loyal to a man she respects. Not the man who texts 100 times. Not the man who begs for attention. She respects a man who could walk away, but chooses not to, who has options, but chooses discipline, who can replace her, but chooses solitude. The Stoic man doesn't bluff. He embodies abundance. He doesn't threaten to leave. He's just not afraid to. His mission matters more than her attention. And when a woman feels that, she clings. Not because you're manipulative, because you're real. That's the difference. Most boys fake confidence. You build it, and that scares her. Because now she knows if she slips, you're not coming back. 5, she fears silence because it makes her insecure. Women communicate through words. It's how they connect feel safe, validate themselves. But the Stoic man doesn't overshare. He doesn't explain everything. He lets silence do the talking. And in that silence, she panics. She starts overthinking. Did I say something wrong? Is he mad? Is he pulling away? That's the power of restraint. Your silence becomes a mirror she's afraid to look into. When you don't chase, when you don't respond instantly, when you don't flood her with words, you force her to feel, to self-reflect, to wonder. The Stoic isn't rude. He's intentional. He speaks when it's necessary. And his absence hits louder than any paragraph ever could. She won't say it, but she loves the mystery. Because every woman secretly desires a man she can't fully read. Be that mystery. Point 6. She creates drama to feel your strength. Why do women start fights over nothing? Why does she accuse, poke, provoke? Because deep down, she wants to feel your frame. Emotional drama is her test. She's saying, can this man hold his ground? Can he stay centered while I spiral? And most men fail. They get emotional. They yell. They argue. That's what boys do. The Stoic man, he doesn't react, he observes. He doesn't explode, he pauses. When she tries to push you, you stay still. When she raises her voice, you speak even calmer. That's power. That's emotional discipline. That's what separates you from the 99%. Drama isn't the problem. Your reaction is, be unmoved. And soon she'll calm herself. Not because you yelled louder, but because your energy demanded peace. 7. She needs you to keep growing or she'll outgrow you. She doesn't just want love. She wants elevation, security, status, stimulation. That's her programming, hypergamy. She's wired to seek the best available option. And if you stop becoming better, if you stay stagnant, if you get comfortable, she feels it. And slowly, she detaches. But not the Stoic man. He never stops evolving. Not to impress her, not to keep her, but because self-mastery is who he is. He wakes up earlier, reads more, trains harder, builds daily. He knows growth is oxygen. And when a woman sees that fire in your eyes, that hunger in your voice, that drive in your actions, she doesn't just stay. She adores you because she knows you're a man who won't let himself slip, and therefore won't let her slip either. Your progress becomes her safety. Your strength becomes her home. Point 8. She'll push your boundaries just to see if you have any. Here's what most men don't realize. She doesn't test you because she hates you. She tests you because she wants to trust you. That sarcastic comment, that passive-aggressive silence, that accidental disrespect, it's not random. It's a probe. She wants to know, can this man protect his standards without exploding? Will he fold if I press too hard? Weak men try to please her. They laugh it off, ignore the red flag, apologize for things they didn't even do. But the Stoic man, he holds a line. He doesn't yell. He doesn't beg. He simply sets a boundary with calm, non-negotiable clarity. That silence after a disrespectful tone, that's the response. That shift in eye contact when she crosses a line, that's the consequence. And the moment she realizes you have limits, she finally feels safe. Not because she won, but because she knows she's with a man who won't let her ruin what she secretly wants to protect. 9. She craves masculine presence, not just masculine talk. You can quote Marcus Aurelius all day. You can say, I'm stoic, I'm grounded, I'm different. But if your presence doesn't feel like power, she'll see right through it. A woman's body can feel what your words can't fake. She knows when you're confident versus pretending. She knows when you're calm versus repressed. She knows when you're acting strong versus being strong. That's why posture matters. Eye contact matters. Your walk, your tone, your pace. Presence is primal. And when a woman feels it, she doesn't need explanation. The Stoic man doesn't flex it. He radiates it. He doesn't prove himself. He embodies himself. That's the energy that silences a room. That's the energy she can't stop thinking about days later. Not because of what you said, but because of who you were when you said nothing at all. Work on your presence. Let her feel it, before you even speak. 10. She wants to feel safe, but she'll never say it out loud. This is the deepest secret, and the most dangerous one to ignore. Every woman wants to feel safe, not just physically, emotionally, mentally, energetically. She wants to know that you won't break when she does. She wants to know that when the world goes dark, your light stays on. She wants to trust that her vulnerability won't be used against her. But here's the paradox. She'll never say it, because the moment you force comfort, you ruin it. She doesn't feel safe from words. She feels safe from your state, your energy, your stillness, your ability to stay grounded while she unravels. You don't calm her down by logic. You calm her by presence. You don't make her feel safe by promising her security. You make her feel safe by being security. That's the Stoic man's secret. He doesn't control her emotions. He controls his response. He doesn't rescue her. He anchors her. And that anchoring, that's what she remembers. Not the gifts, not the compliments, but the way you made her feel protected without even trying. That's the man she stays loyal to. That's the man she fears losing. That's the man she respects, even in silence. So here it is, 10 truths, 10 weaknesses, not to exploit, but to understand, because the Stoic man never uses knowledge for manipulation. He uses it for mastery. He studies, he grows, he leads, not by force, but by example. Every weakness she has is a mirror of what you must strengthen. Her need for approval equals your power in silence. Her emotional storms equals your emotional stillness. Her testing equals your boundaries. Her insecurity equals your certainty. Her craving for presence equals your self-possession. Her hunger for safety equals your unshakable masculinity. Be the man that can't be shaken. Be the man she can't manipulate. Be the man who doesn't chase, but gets chased. Because in the end, it's not your words she remembers. It's your energy. And when that energy is calm, focused, detached, you don't just become attractive. You become unforgettable. So if this video shifted your perspective, if you're ready to walk through life like a true Stoic man, type "I am the mountain" in the comments. Subscribe for more raw, psychological, Stoic-based breakdowns. Drop a like if this hit deep. Share this with a man who needs to wake up. And remember, she doesn't fall for what you say. She falls for how still you are when everything else moves. Be powerful. Be disciplined. Be the calm in every storm. Until next time, soldier, stay grounded. Stay dangerous.